Welcome back to Political Capital. With me in the studio is Kate O'Byrne, and joining us from our New York offices is Margaret Carlson. The healthcare debate raged again this week. Margaret, let me start with you. Barack Obama fighting back, town hall in New Hampshire and out west. Is he making any progress or changing the dynamics?
Well, either the people in New Hampshire are extremely polite, or there is respect for the president when he shows up, because that was a town hall that did not have the earmarks of the others. People say that it was a screened event. Yes, the guy with the gun outside did not get in. The people with the pictures of Hitler did not get in. I don't know that it was a screened event. Listen, the debate has gone off the rails with these death panels, but the president, if he could go to every town in America, might be able to get it back on track.
Kate, I'll turn to death panels in a minute, but let me ask you first about what you thought of Obama's performance this week and whether it's changed the dynamics any.
I think trying to sell this self-contradictory package is beyond even his rhetorical skills. That's the problem he's having, Al. He's telling people that the imperative for health care reform is cutting costs. But we're going to cover 40 million more people. And it's going to cost $1 trillion over the next 10 years. And his big cost-cutting measure, a sticking block for Congress, is they can't figure out how to pay for all this cost cutting. He's also saying that the system needs fundamental reform. The status quo just is unsustainable. But if you like your health insurance and you're happy with the status quo, you can keep it. So people are spotting these contradictory parts of this bill. They are at odds with his explanation for them, and he's not making the sale.
Kate, whatever the legitimate criticisms, I mean, really, death panels, isn't that really, crazy, kooky stuff?
Well, Sarah Palin engaged in a little hyperbole, to be sure, but give her some credit. She drew attention to a part of the House bill that for the very first time Medicare is going to reimburse doctors for end-of-life, voluntary though they are, end-of-life sessions. That causes a lot of people across the spectrum concern. Why? Well, as Senator Chuck Grassley has now said in announcing the Senate's not going to have such a provision if it's up to him, politicians should not be involved in this. Yes, it's a very important thing people consider, but not at the hands of politicians. Wait till the lobbyists get a hold of this provision. So it's legitimate to be concerned. And I think, again, the president was too flip in defending it. He said, we're being accused of pulling the plug on grandma. Well, that was too flip, because people do have genuine concerns about the government getting involved in this really sensitive area.
Margaret, genuine concerns.
The president treated it with the respect it deserved, which is none. This is simply a provision to pay doctors, the good ones, for what they already do, which is to explain to people at the end of life what their options are. This is nothing. This is an imaginary, trumped-up issue. And by the way, Sarah Palin, who coined death panels, not since death taxes have we had a better way of scaring people, was for this kind of payment for these services in another life of hers before she became the Sarah Palin we know.
I don't think I'm going to get an agreement with you two on death panels. Let me ask you this, though. We talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago about the odds of something ultimately passing Congress. We've seen a lot happen in the last couple weeks. Have you changed your feeling about whether it's ultimately going to pass or not, Kate?
Despite the polls, it's dropping. Its support for this plan has dropped 20 points in the past few weeks. The majority of the elderly are now opposed to the plan. Again, he's not able to sell the details of this because it's so contradictory. However, given the huge majorities Democrats enjoy, I still think they could be able to pass something to muscle it through.
Margaret, do we get agreement on that?
We have agreement. It will be worse to pass what's going to come out of this process than to do nothing at all. But the stakes of not doing something at all politically seem too high to some in the White House, so there will be something.
Okay. Margaret, thank you. Kate, thank you.